Hi everyone, Adam here. You know, it's May 4th, Star Wars Day, and that seemed like the perfect opportunity to rank the Star Wars movies. So first off, I'm only doing the live action theatrical released movies, so I won't be doing the Clone Wars movie that was released, which was really just 3 episodes edited together, or the Ewok Adventures, because even though they got a theatrical release here, and I think in the UK they were technically made for television. And okay, just for the record, I don't hate any of the Star Wars movies. I know some people have disdain for certain ones in the franchise. I've liked some more than others, which with any franchise happens, but as always, this is just my personal preference. So here we go. In the last spot, The Last Jedi. And just for the record, I don't hate this movie. I actually like it. I know there's a lot of disdain from Star Wars fans. And I'll give it credit for doing something different and doing the unexpected, which is what a lot of people had problems with. And of course, the death of a major character as well. But yeah, I do actually like it, just don't love it. And it's probably because it's the one Star Wars movie I've seen the least. At number 9, I'm putting The Phantom Menace. For me, easily the weakest in the prequel trilogy, but there is some bits I really do like. I do like the pod race is fun, and of course the triple lightsaber fight between Darth Maul, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. That is an excellent lightsaber fight. So yeah, but it's like I said, I think it's the weakest. Number 8, I'm putting Solo. This was a tough one. I was just trying to think which spin-off movie do I like more, Solo or Rogue One. It's like I said, I do like Solo, and it's a shame we won't be getting any more due to the fact it didn't do that well at the box office. But I thought the actor who did play Han Solo did a pretty good job. I've forgotten his name. Just one sec. Alden Ehrenreich, I think it is. I thought he did a pretty good job. He wasn't a direct copy of Harrison Ford, kind of did his own thing, but still had, I guess, the what am I trying to look for? The elements of Han Solo from the movies. And some people say, well, we didn't really need a backstory to Han Solo. It was better when it was more mysterious. But you know what? I find this movie to be number fun. 7, Rogue One. Basically, most of the time it's an on-ground war movie, but it did have probably one of the best Darth Vader moments in any of the Star Wars movies ever, especially when he's on the bridge going into the rebel ship. We got one of the badass moments of Darth Vader ever when he's knocking down rebel soldiers with pure ease, using the Force to throw them against the wall. I mean, whether you like the movie or not, you got to admit that bit is pretty damn awesome. Yeah, and I it's a spin-off I like just a little bit more than Solo. At number 6, Attack of the Clones. Yeah, I mean, it does have some pretty decent action, and the Dooku Yoda lightsaber battle is pretty fun. Although, of course, there is some clunky dialogue, but people complain about that in a Star Wars movie. But if you watch every single Star Wars movie, there's always a bit of clunky dialogue. You know, like, I don't like sand, it's rough, and it's coarse, and it gets everywhere. No one could ever do a good line reading of that, but still, it does have some highlights, and the final battle towards the end is pretty good. At number 5, Revenge of the Sith. Easily my favourite of the prequel trilogy. Everything we've been waiting for, basically watching Anakin turn to the dark side and become Darth Vader. And I do think Hayden Christensen's acting has improved in this one than Attack of the Clones. But another one who gives a really good performance is Ian McDiarmid as Palpatine, where he becomes the Emperor. He is just so good. He's a great, well, would you call him a secondary villain? Even though he's pretty much behind everything. A great fight on Mustafar, which is another great lightsaber battle with a really tragic ending. At number 4, Force Awakens. This was a pretty good return to Star Wars. I know some people complain that it's too much like A New Hope, and in a way it is, and I actually like the new characters, Finn and Rey. I know a lot of people don't like Rey, they say she's a Mary Sue, but yeah, I actually like Rey, alright? You want to fight about it? And of course, who can forget that awesome moment when Han and Chewie enter the Millennium Falcon for the first time on screen in years. I mean, it's so good they used it in the trailer. So, yeah, number 4, Force Awakens. Number 3, Return of the Jedi. This, of course, is one of my favourites in the franchise. Not my favourite of all time, obviously. I really like the Jabba the Hutt scenes. They were supposed to be a family-friendly sci-fi. They're kind of a little grim, dark. And I know a lot of people hate the Ewoks, but personally, I like the Ewoks. The Ewoks are fun to watch. It was a pretty good ending to the original trilogy, with Anakin finding redemption. Although some of it was a bit strange. Luke and Leia were brother and sisters, so yeah. There's always that scene in Empire which makes everyone go, ew. But they didn't know, all right? Yeah, so Return of the Jedi at number 3. Number 2, Star Wars. I'll call it A New Hope. The original Star Wars. Well, what can I say about it? It's a sci-fi classic. When it was released, there was no other movies like it. All the cast were unknown, made them all pretty much stars. And it's pretty much a simple story of good versus evil, kind of a tribute to the old Flash Gordon serials, which George Lucas has admitted. Of course, the plot centers around rescuing the princess, blowing up a Death Star, and, like I said, it's just fun. And at number 1 for me, Empire Strikes Back. This was the first one I saw at the cinemas. It was actually the first Star Wars movie I ever saw. Yeah, I saw it at the cinemas in 1980. Yep, I'm pretty old. And I remember watching it as a kid, because I was a kid back then. A long time ago. In a galaxy far, far away. Sorry, I had to say it. Yeah, I remember at the time I was more struck by the visuals. It wasn't until I was older that I realised this has a really good story. It's not as action-packed as some of the other Star Wars movies. Darker plot. And of course, this was the introduction to the great character of Yoda. Yoda has always been one of my favourite characters. And in a way, it was more mature than A New Hope. And of course, that revelation, I reckon if Empire Strikes Back was made today, they'd put that scene into the trailer. I don't think I really have to say spoilers. Most people have already know what the revelation is, so... Yeah, okay, so that's going to do it for my ranking of the Star Wars movies for Star Wars Day. Let us know yours in the comments below, or if you feel like doing a video response, feel free. And if you don't like Star Wars, just put Star Wars sucks in the comments. You have my permission, because I'm sure somebody's going to do it anyway, so feel free to do that. Okay, I'm Adam, and I'll see you again soon.